Welcome to the starters. As most of you know, I generally start every show by yelling, "Good evening, sweet world." But that's not going to happen tonight because honestly, those words, particularly the sweet world part, they ring a little less true right now. Tonight, we mourn the death of an NBA legend, Craig Sager, who passed away today after a lengthy battle with leukemia. Sags was a fixture on NBA sidelines for 3 decades. He became an icon in sports for his flashy attire, his joyous interactions with coaches and players. We were honored to have him on our own show. Craig's fight with cancer was an inspiration to the millions and millions of people who have been affected by the disease, both directly and indirectly. And I think nothing summed up his spirit better than his speech at the ESPYs earlier this year.
Time is something that cannot be bought. It cannot be wagered with God, and it is not in endless supply. Time is simply how you live your life. So I will never give up, and I will never give in. I will continue to keep fighting, sucking the marrow out of life as life sucks the marrow out of me. I will live my life full of love and full of fun. It's the only way I know how.
Unbelievable speech from Sags there at the ESPYs again earlier this year. Trey, athletes took to Twitter today, no surprise, to share their condolences and their memories of Sager. I think you have a few of them.
Yeah, really an outpouring of support from the league on Twitter today. Scottie Pippen said, "Craig Sager brought so much enthusiasm to the NBA game, but his fight to the end is what really impressed me. RIP to an inspiring man." Baron Davis said, "RIP, Craig Sager, you will always be with us. You brought fans closer to the game in a fun way, humanizing coaches, fashion, wit, legend." Jamal Crawford said, "Heaven just got a little more colorful." Love that. Luol Deng said, "Craig Sager, beloved icon on the sideline whose battle never sidelined his fearless spirit, truly inspired by his legacy." And Kobe Bryant echoed that ESPY speech saying, "Time is simply how you live your life," a Craig Sager quote. Then he added, "So grateful for the time you shared with all of us. RIP, my friend." Personally, we were lucky to have known him. We're lucky to have him on the show a couple of times, and I consider him a role model of mine. He's from a small town in Illinois, about 20 minutes from where I grew up. He loved basketball. He loved clothes. If I'm able to become half the NBA personality he was, I will consider myself incredibly lucky. And we want to hear from you at home, too. So let us know on Twitter. How will you remember Craig Sager? Send us your best Sager memories to #TheStarters. We're going to reminisce a little bit later.
Yeah, get those tweets in, #TheStarters. You had a chance to talk to Sags when you were at the finals in 2016 here.
Yeah, Game 6 in Cleveland, because he'd never worked the finals before, and an agreement between ESPN and TNT allowed him to do that. And I got an opportunity to speak to him for a couple of minutes, and it was a really special moment because prior to the interview, he was being pulled in every direction. Everyone wanted a little interview in a couple of minutes with him, and he came over to our set, and just before we went to air, I had 2 or 3 minutes of just some really good story time with him, really fun moment, and he really made you feel like you were the person that he was hoping to see that day, and that's a very special skill to have that. And as Trey said, we all kind of aspire to be like him in our role, and if we can be anything like he was, it'd be a great achievement for all of us.
I just can't believe how positive and strong he was. Diagnosed over 2.5 years ago, 3 bone marrow transplants. That doesn't happen to many people. Hundreds of procedures. And chemotherapy, if you've ever been around anyone who's undergone chemotherapy, it simply drains the person. It stops the person. Craig Sager was working. Yeah. The man was literally working. Our makeup artist, Rachel, just told me of how he came in here to work. He literally had his hospital bracelets on because he just came from the hospital. Yeah. And you mentioned how he made you feel. And Charles Barkley and Reggie Miller went and visited him, and they said basically the exact same thing. He made it feel like you were the one.
You were that special person
that he was visiting almost.
Right.
Like he wasn't sick whatsoever. I don't want to claim to know Craig at all because I don't know him all that well. But that time is simply how you live your life. I mean, that's a note that he obviously lived by, and I know a lot of us think we live by codes, but this man obviously lived by a code, and he was really, really inspirational. Throughout those 30 months. I don't know how he fought so hard and remained so positive.
I just love, and I hope we try and do this night in and night out here on the Starters, is to remember that basketball is supposed to be fun. And Sager definitely remembered that above all. this is a blast. It's a game they're playing. We can have fun with this. We can laugh. I mean, the outfits alone. He said, live your life boldly, and I think your jackets, your sports jackets, or your fashion should be just as loud. It's sad that he's gone today, but I think we need to, in his memory, with his spirit, to put on a good show here. Hopefully tonight for everyone.
For Segs.
Yeah, for sure. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Craig's wife Stacy, their children, the entire Sager family, everyone here at Turner and NBA TV. Rest in peace, Segs. We'll be right back. Back with the starters. In case you're just joining us, sad news today with the passing of Turner's own Craig Sager. As you can imagine, it's especially tough for us here at NBA TV and Turner, seeing as he was a friend and a colleague. But I am pretty positive, as I said earlier, that Segs would want us to keep our spirits high, have some fun, and most importantly, talk a little basketball. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And we had some good news last night, because there's not going to be a lockout in 2017. We're going to be able to talk a whole lot more about basketball and continue to. The NBA and the Players Union reached a tentative agreement on a new labor deal pending ratification from the owners and players. Fantastic news for NBA nerds like us. Obviously been a lot written about this in the last 24 hours, so let's play a special CBA edition of Is This News? Trey's rounded up some recent NBA/CBA headlines, going to pitch them to us, and we'll determine whether or not they're news.
Yeah, our first piece of news comes from an SB Nation article, and it reads, the preseason will be shortened and the season will start earlier. Is this news?
I think this is news because it's baby steps ever so slightly into the right directions, because it means the dissolving slowly of back-to-backs in 4 games and 5 nights. The NBA has been veering that direction, and slowly, because of this extra week, we'll probably have no 4 games and 5 nights entirely, which is big, and back-to-backs again reduced, because at some point we have to reduce them entirely, because young players and your old hard players, as some people would like to think, say the exact same thing. Young players like Blake Griffin, I remember, the second night of back-to-back is just impossible to get the most out of your body. And Kevin Garnett, who's down the hall in Area 21, mentioned earlier this year that he wished Dwayne Wade went back to Miami without a second night of a back-to-back, because he can play better. And that's hard Kevin Garnett, the man we all love for being tough. And these are the numbers as they get lower and lower and lower. It's just so difficult to get the most out of your body. So we're going to see a reduced number of those in the near future.
And this is topical right now, of course, seeing as Marc Gasol didn't travel to Cleveland, play against the Cavs, and then coming back the other way, the Cavs didn't send LeBron and Kyrie and Kevin Love because it was a back-to-back situation. Teams are obviously, they've crunched the numbers on this. They think you're more likely, or the numbers I should say back it up, that you're more likely to be injured if you're playing these heavy minutes in back-to-back situations. You're right, it's baby steps. If we're not going to shorten the league, which I doubt will happen.
Shorten the season?
Shorten the season, excuse me. Don't shorten the league. If we shorten the season, which I don't think is going to happen, yeah, exactly, then this is the next best thing. Yep. In my opinion, at least.
And also, it reduces the preseason. And I've been someone who's been vocal about.
That's a good point.
We don't need a month-long preseason. If you're going to play games, make them count. I think 2 or 3 games for preseason, that's enough. Keep them close. You don't need to travel far. Keep them close so the players aren't traveling too much. Get everyone a little bit of game play under their legs.
Ready, sure.
And then start the season.
Sure. I think we're all understanding that it's tough on the body, the anatomy, to go through that game in, game out, night in and night out. And one little thing that's sort of flying under the radar with this CBA is that there's a new deal with wearables, which tracks your body. So maybe at some point, obviously both sides are extremely reasonable coming to the table right now. Maybe in the future, after we have a lot of evidence from these wearables, we'll understand that we can't have back-to-backs whatsoever. And maybe the league and the schedule gets a little bit shortened someday, down to, not the league, but the season gets shortened down to whatever that number is. So because we understand that, hey, Michelle, hey, Adam, we can't play every game, every night, and get the most out of our players.
Yeah, the fact that teams weren't even sending players on the trip shows that they're not even trying in that respect. They're just saying, you know what, don't even get on the plane.
I will say this. It'll be interesting to see if we get rid of all back-to-backs and all 4 and 5s, will that stop all resting? That will be the question.
Wow.
When we get there, we'll find out. All right, Trey, next headline.
Our next headline comes from NBC Sports, and it says, report, one and done rule to stay in NBA's new CBA. Is this news?
This is news, but they also said this might change at some point during the new CBA, and I'm kind of torn on this one.
Do you believe that to be true?
Well, I'm not sure.
Because it hasn't changed.
There was a proposal from the Players Association side to make it either a 0 and 2. So if you jump from high school to the pros, that's fine. But if you go to college, you have to stay for 2 years. That was a proposal that has been tabled for this point.
And the thing is, I think, obviously, if you're entitled to earn money, you should be able to earn it no matter how old you are. And that's a big problem. The kids are saying, I don't want to go and play college basketball when I'm not earning money, when I could play professionally in Europe or Asia or somewhere like that and earn money.
Right.
But I do think for the product of the NBA game, you are much better off if you're a little bit older, a little bit more mature mentally, physically. You've also played the game with coaches who are experienced, like in college, for example, who have taught you more about the game.
Yeah, but I could turn that around and say, if
Don't you learn more from NBA
Yeah, if
coaches?
I'm a player good enough to get into the NBA and get drafted, am I not going to learn more being in an organization and around those guys in the locker room, around a Kevin Garnett when he was playing? Aren't I going to learn more that way?
You might, but I think that is the small majority. I think most of the players who come from high school are not quite ready for the NBA. This is not a normal jump from in a business circle. If you're a plumber, for example, you don't go from a year or two in trade school, then all of a sudden you're a plumber on a massive job. It takes time.
Well, if you called me up to say, come and fix my toilet at my house, there is no way I'd be
That job is massive.
The point is, I think there is a procession to get to the NBA.
Yeah.
There's only how many players in the NBA in the world? Not that many, right, by percentage. I think the more training you have, the more practice you have, and the more experience you have of just playing games prepares you better to handle everything that comes with the NBA. Media attention, friends, family, the money. I mean, you go from earning no money to all of a sudden a couple of $1 million a year. It changes your life.
I'm sure it does, but I guess this is a little shocking because remember when Commissioner Silver did come in around 2014, he said this was one of his top priorities, extending it so they had to stay in college a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And obviously the Players Union is against this, and so here we are. We're just going to say, well, let's stay with the one and done, and maybe we'll address it in the future.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical it will eventually get addressed because I think it's such a topic from both sides. They want to go the other way. Like this is the meeting in the middle, but no one's really all that happy with it.
Sure. This topic aside, it should be clear that these guys just decided, why ruin a good thing? And they decided that we're not going to argue over every single little small thing. We're going to go forward because this league is at its best point that it's ever been.
That's absolutely true. I'm also not a college basketball fan, so I just want the players that can play in the NBA just to get there earlier.
Yeah,
college fan.
Like Lee said, though, there's obviously a lot of people who fail in the NBA.
Yeah, that's
possibly because they got there too early.
A lot of college players that fail in the NBA too.
Gotta take a break. When we come back, we'll debate who had the best reaction to Larry Nance Jr.'s dunk. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to The Starters. It's time to play a little fill in the blank. Trey's got a few questions. Myself, Tass, Lee, we'll fill in the blank. Let's do it.
Yep, no doubt you've seen it by now, but there's a new Dunk of the Year nominee in town. It happened in the third quarter of last night's Lakers-Nets game when Larry Nance Jr. went up, then even more up to dunk all over Brook Lopez, much to the delight of everyone who saw it. Guys, fill in the blank. The best reaction to Larry Nance's dunk was?
Lot to pick from.
Yeah, there was. Timofey Mozgov for me, because he acted like he had never seen anyone get dunked on before. And this is a guy who usually gets dunked on. So he was probably happy that he wasn't the one being posterized on this occasion. But look at him raise his hands up here like this, like, oh my God, what is that? I can't believe it.
So that's what it looks like from that angle.
I just love it when players are actually shocked by what their own teammates can do on the court.
What's more shocking is when the opposing players are shocked. So I'm most impressed by the bench. Not
the
Lakers bench. The opposing bench.
Yeah.
And not just one or two guys. It was literally everyone on the bench. Look at all the guys like Louis Scola.
Yeah, I got shocked that Scola is in He's played for 40
Randy
years.
Foye,
I love
Trevor
how
Booker.
I love how they go to react, but they all
stop
sort of
each other.
catch themselves.
Trevor
They all-
Booker with the headband there.
Yeah.
It's like,
Can't
he's not on my
celebrate the
team.
opponents here, guys.
Yeah, those are good picks. I think Larry Nance Jr. himself maybe had the best reaction. I always like when a guy puts down such a good dunk that even he's a little shocked. But like he drops the woo, woo, like he knows that is a dunk of the year.
Oh man.
Candidate. Like look, he's like, oh man, that was good.
That's like when DeAndre Jordan dunked on Brandon Knight. Remember, he hit him with the stank
yeah.
radio out there? That's
very
craziness.
similar. All right,
did
Trey.
Well, I hope you guys like dunks because we're going to keep talking about dunks, but this time it's Terrence Ross who threw down a delectable windmill on the break last night against the Sixers just a couple of nights after botching the exact same dunk against the Bucks. Guys, fill in the blank. Terrence Ross's dunk was...
What do you got,
blank.
Lee?
Redemption. You said it, Trey. I mean, this is a guy who had a wide open court the other day, went for a 360 and botched it. Didn't let it affect him though. He just went down instead and thought, I'm going to throw it down. This is the one that he missed the other night there. And look, sometimes you could say guys would be like, man, I don't want to do that again, so I'm going to go up and just do a gentle dunk. Instead, last night he said, I'm going back. I'll show you what I can do.
I went with the same thing, Lily. Yeah. Sweet redemption. Did you notice the difference between the two dunks? Not just one missing and the other hitting. It's how he took off.
Yeah, 2 feet versus
the 2
1
feet.
feet. Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. He's a 1 foot. He's better, I think, coming off of 1 foot like he did last night against the Sixers.
Interesting theory.
Yeah, because the one where he misses, he does a 2 foot takeoff, and this one he's like, no. I'm sticking with how I know how to do it. That's a huge. Look at that.
He's got one of the best windmills in the world.
Yeah, he gets the legs
sexy.
going.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So yeah, sweet redemption for me as well. What'd you go with?
I went with torrential because it kind of sounds like Terrence, but it's not that good. So let's move on.
Smart man. All right, final one, Trey.
Yeah, one of the NBA's worst kept secrets is finally out in the open as the Warriors' Kevin Durant finally admitted that he's actually 7 feet tall when wearing shoes, despite being listed at just 6'9" for the entirety of his career. Here's a weird one. Go crazy with it. Fill in the blank. I wish I was blank tall.
Penny Hardaway tall.
That's a good question.
6'7", baby.
Was he?
Yeah, perfect height.
Perfect
height for a skinny guy like me. Just stretch me out, man, because I want to be able to dunk, but I still want to be athletic enough to sort of, obviously could have good handles and amazing passer. Penny Hardaway, 6'7", that's the perfect NBA height in my opinion.
Well, that is the average NBA
Well,
height,
that's
actually.
perfect then.
Yeah. I chose 6'2", because I'm 5'11 3/4, and I can dunk a tennis ball or a golf ball.
Whoa!
I think I only need 2 more inches, and I can get a basketball
You got a
down
basketball?
still. Yeah, so that's all I need.
6'2".
Yeah.
Wow, way to dream big, man.
I don't want to be gigantic.
You're close. You're close. Me, 6'9". I wish I was like 6'9", so I get with Miyoshi because she don't know me because she's really fun.
See it coming.
I see her all the time, everywhere I go. Even in my dreams, I can see Sueza making mine. Because I know she's living fat. Her boyfriend's solid. He plays ball.
How tall was Skilo? Do we know? He's like
5'5".
5'5".
I'm
Skilo.
guessing. I don't know.
Skilo.
Skilo.
Silo's like 4'6".
Yeah, I was going to say.
You never got Skilo in Australia, did you?
No, we didn't. We only just got Silo.
Back in the starters, it turns out you did have Skilo in Australia. Trey said he was number 74 in the charts.
Yeah, come on, Lee. I know you're climbing, charting, and all that stuff, trying to hear all the songs.
Yeah, we didn't have the internet though back then, so I couldn't hear his music. Yeah.
All right. Well, every Thursday, guys, we scour the internet to bring you the meme team, our favorite weird and wacky moments from the past 7 days.
At number 5, Tim Duncan's retirement includes getting an extension on his back tattoo. He did have part of it, but he got a little bit more detailed. Didn't bother to take off his shirt, really. Just doing some work here.
Look at
That is detailed.
That is. Look at the gears and the pistons. That's how a car works, eh?
I wouldn't know.
I had no idea. Yeah.
Not these days. They're all computerized.
They're all electric.
Yeah.
Nice tat. This week, the Warriors got straight up embarrassed by the Grizzlies. Steph Curry tried to offer an explanation after the game, but no one had any idea what he actually said because he was rocking a flashing Christmas lights necklace.
Yeah.
At number 3, the Cavs portion of the program, Birdman Chris Anderson analyzes bird calls.
Fireback, that's what it is. Siamese fireback. It's mostly found in the lowland and evergreen forests down in Thailand? I think it's Thailand. Look it up.
At number 2, Fred against the Heat. Cavs intro video is totally normal, and then this happened. You got Rick rolled, Cavs fans. These guys busted it.
Hey, Rick Astley made it to Australia, I tell ya.
Oh, James Jones.
James
Feeling
Jones
it, man.
feeling
I was
it.
gonna say, who's
Wow.
your favorite look in this?
James Jones got that smaller head. It fits that hat
I
really
do
well.
like this look
Yeah,
for
Kyrie's
Kyrie, though,
great.
too.
That's
Denim
good.
and denim with the
Shumpert's
suspenders.
got the great sweater, yeah.
James Jones, I don't know, he just fits the older.
Yeah, maybe it's because he's
Older
older.
style.
Yeah, maybe it just works for him.
He remembers when this song was really popping in the club.
LeBron getting into it.
And as we all know, LeBron James was named Sports Illustrated's 2016 Sports Person of the Year, and as a result, he appeared on this week's cover wearing a cream white turtleneck and sports coat, looking fresh, looking fly. Though that didn't stop the internet from memeing away. SI's own site, The Crossover, they gave him the Drake Hotline Bling treatment.
Where'd they get all the poses from?
Well, I guess he was doing the photo shoot, but the score, they thought Bron's look was a lot more 98 Degrees Christmas album edition. And it worked. Did you have 98 Degrees
I don't think so.
in Australia?
Maybe.
There's the name team. The NBA lost a legend today when longtime sideline reporter Craig Sager passed away after a lengthy battle with cancer. He was a fixture on NBA sidelines for 3 decades, an icon in this industry. It's going to be missed. We asked you, how will you remember Sags? You hit us up on Twitter, #TheStarters. Trey, you got a few answers.
Yeah, this was fun to read. Robert says, for being such an entertaining guy on the sidelines, there isn't anyone that didn't love him, and that's definitely true. John says, when Kevin Garnett told him to go home and burn his whole suit, and he did. It's true, we never saw that suit again. Walter says, the starters wouldn't be the starters if Craig Sager was not Craig Sager, and that's absolutely true. Raul says, I will always remember Sager as someone who loved life and the only sideline reporter that got pop to talk and laugh. Jimbo says, it seems like I lost a friend. Been watching Craig Sager since I was about 7 or 8. TBS Atlanta Hawks games every Friday night. R.I.P. Todd says, Craig probably knew the name of every player, coach, and media personality in the NBA. Hassan said, the man who captured everyone's hearts by showing up to work in a ridiculous suit while going through the pain. R.I.P. That is some inspiring stuff, to be honest. Ernesto says, I remember watching 90s games in Mexico, and Craig instantly got my attention. He was funny and confident. Spencer says, I'm wanting to know what color his suit was definitely going to be my best memory. It's rare to look forward to seeing what somebody's going to wear to work, for sure. And Jamal says, I know everyone will remember him for his suits. He was so smooth, and as a fan, you saw and felt what he meant to the NBA family. There's no doubt about it.
Tough day. We're going to miss you, Sags.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it was what Ernesto said that hits home with me. I mean, chemotherapy, cancer stops people in their tracks, and Craig was working as much as possible. You saw him at the NBA Finals. I think that should be his living legacy, that people should try and live life as much as they possibly can, because Craig obviously did. The man, nothing could stop him.
And again, that chemotherapy brings you down, but the energy and the smile on his face, you wouldn't know there was anything wrong with him.
That's 100% true. Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, in the words of Craig Sager, time is simply how you live your life.